Hello. Okay, so we are starting. Um, let's start with the roadmap. So what we are going to do in today's session, you already gone through this particular document and you registered through this particular link. Now, this is to um, understand how to move forward with machine learning and how to learn particular concepts and to build a system around generating new opportunities. Even though you are at a leadership position or you're a student or you're professional. So what we are targeting in today's session is uh, we are going to see the roadmap, how we are going to learn everything in machine learning and targeting some specific positions like machine learning engineer, MLOps engineer, who also understand generative AI functionalities. It can be large language models. It can be um, specific to NLP, natural language processing, or it can be computer vision, depending upon what makes you more curious and interested in any of the field. Okay, so we are going to focus on that. Okay, now here are certain questions that we are going to cover, and we will study some more topics related to the actual market and what the market is demanding uh, from a candidate who is targeting these particular positions. Okay. Also, if you are targeting you are already working in a leadership position. So what you can do is go a little bit in depth to understand your team better, to understand your data team better, and even though you are not more technical from a more technical background, it doesn't matter. You have to read some blogs, you have to work on the technical aspect of it and understand the whole architecture of it. Okay, so if you are not an engineering, you're not targeting the engineer position, but you want to learn. So the best way to learn is to understand the system and architecture of your whole solution around a business problem. Okay. Now, so let's start with our roadmap. Before that, let me introduce myself. So I am Himanshu Ramzandani, and currently I'm working I'm already running a company. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so here this is my LinkedIn profile. I think you all have already gone through this. So I'm already working in the energy sector. So what we do is we provide companies um, data engineering services and machine learning services to build a whole solution around their business problem. And um, I've been working or training professionals from last 7 years now. And yeah, so I regularly post content around AI news and um, AI. You can say that how to integrate your data and build AI powered products. So you can get my tips on that particular area, and you can apply those actionable tips to your existing model, or if you are working as a leadership, working on a leadership position. And if you are a student or professional, if you want to learn, so there are plenty of free resources are already posted on different social media platforms. So one of that is GitHub. So you can go through all these um, repositories that are freely available. So even though if I'm charging for a live session, all the content is available for free. Not the actual, you cannot join the live session of mine, but you can access the resources for free. Okay, so if you are a student and cannot afford the session, you can reach out to me for any questions. Okay, and all the all the cohorts that I have been running, you can access all the resources. For example, there's a cohort for data analyst roadmap. So you can find this March cohort files and July cohort file. All the files are available. So you can access all of them. No issue with that. Okay. So that's who I am. And I've been doing this since 7 years. So um, that's it. So let's move to the machine learning roadmap part first. Then we will discuss a little more about this part. Okay. Now, what's the issue with the current job system? If you can see, is that we don't have a proper system as a student or a professional to get to getting multiple opportunities in the sector. So if you are working in a, or if you are targeting any particular position in data science domain, and you are forwarding your resume to multiple recruiters and not getting any response from them, so there can be a an issue with the approach of yours. Okay, so we have to work on that. Along with that, we have to understand the market and what the actual market needs. There are plenty of AI tools available. There are plenty of software companies available. Some of them are service-based companies, other are product-based companies. So there are multiple sectors available. There are companies who create content and so on. So there are basically three types of companies. One is the service-based, product-based, and content-based, who generate content or write books, create podcasts and videos, and so on. Okay. Now, so we have to understand the company first. Then we have to change our resume according to that, and then we have to apply in those companies. Okay, so your approach should be in a targeted format, not just you have created a resume in a certain format and just forwarding that resume to multiple companies. Okay, so you have to understand that. Okay, now how we can build a strong portfolio around whatever position we are targeting and get multiple job offers. So rather than doing that in an old-fashioned manner, we are focusing on creating a system around that. Okay. Now, what this system consists of? So this system, if you are a student, consider that you already got the job and think of that as a full hour of working. For example, if you are working in a particular sector, or if you are positioning or targeting a particular position, what you can do is you have to work for a certain hour daily. So if you do not have a job, consider that you got the job. As I say multiple times, that if you do not have an internship, create your own. Okay, if you do not have a job, create your own. Okay, so what you can do is you can learn things for 4 hours straight. What we call that is deep work session, and after that, work on certain topics or research the market and create content around that. Okay, because personal branding is important here, because as you can see, there are more of so many layoffs in last December. So there are plenty of talent in the market already. Okay, so it's very competitive. Is if you rejected in a company, it doesn't matter, you're not good, but somebody else is better than you. That's it. Okay, this is the only reason. It's not that, or there are many reasons or many parameters while somebody select you to join their team. There can be 20, 25 parameters. It can be soft skills, it can be hard skill, it can be your you can say the portfolio you have worked on. Okay, and how you are presenting your story. Okay, so there are plenty of topics or that you can focus on, and So there can be plenty of reasons too for that. Okay. Now, in this roadmap, what we are targeting is building a system. Okay. Now, as an engineer, if you are focusing on the engineer position, the thing is you have to understand everything in depth, from starting from the math to go to the system design part. Okay, and deploying your solution in production. Okay, now there are plenty of other courses available, and there are so many other people who say that certain you do not have to learn everything in math. You have to work on certain topics. That is fine. You can do that. But if you are an engineer, what engineers do is they understand, they learn many concepts, and they make things better. So to make things better, what you have to do, you have to understand that how many things are available to use in a place of a particular concept, or uh, how to make it better with trial and error. So you kind of experiment with things also. Okay, so that is one thing. So, as an engineer, you have to understand how to make things better. So you have to focus on multiple things, okay, and continuously gathering knowledge around them. Okay. Now, um, let's move forward. So, what is this live cohort is all about? So let's talk about live cohort later, because it's kind of then it will become a promotional thing. But let's focus on the free stuff first. So how you can learn for free. Okay. So um, I'm already creating content and writing blogs around this. So you can check that out on Medium and YouTube. So you can learn uh, most of the things for free. Okay. Now, we are going to cover machine learning operations, and you have to understand generative AI, because you can see in my company also, we generally discuss about generative AI most of the time, that how we can leverage that in our business. And if I talk about our clients, so they also discuss that how they can leverage that particular part. So it's a skill now. Everything is a skill. You can just learn it and add it to your resume. Okay. We have to focus on natural language processing. And once you understand natural language processing, you can move towards large language models and generative AI. Okay. We have computer vision and machine learning systems. So these are the most important topics that we have to understand. Along with that, um, everything should be hands-on. So if you are learning these things, everything should be hands-on, because in company, what you exactly going to do is search on the internet, get to the solution, and deliver that solution in a particular time frame or a particular sprint. And you have to go through feedback loop multiple times with your senior developers and learn through them. Okay, change a little bit, learn everything, and going towards the proper solution for it. Okay, now these are the topics that are covered in this roadmap. Okay, now as I said that we are building a system here. So what's this system will is all about? System is something that you already been be part of. For example, in your home, there's a system that my mom will take care of the kitchen and the house and children's and all. My father will take care of the outside world. Okay, simple. So this is a simple system. Now it may change according to different people, but the system will generate a consistency and a discipline in the household. Okay, so in the same way, if you are targeting a company or approaching for a job, or getting clients from or getting leads from different sources, so you have to be clear with your system. So the system is you open your LinkedIn profile, check if you need to update it, what your followers are talking about, If clients have a questions, do multiple clients have the same question, creating a system around that to generate opportunities, that you are working on this particular problem, and those companies, those startups who are working on the same problem can reach out to you to collaborate with yourself, or they may offer you a job. Okay, so um, so it's kind of working what doing what a company already doing, and creating content around that. Okay, so system is something that there are certain steps to do every day. So you are learning for 4 hours, you are posting for 2 hours, and interacting with your community on LinkedIn or any other, on Twitter, you can say that, or any other social media platform you are comfortable in, and whatever your target market is, obviously. So this is my system, that 4 hours in a day are reserved for learning. It can be anything. Okay, so if you are working on machine learning, 4 hours fixed for learning only. No phones allowed. Okay, you cannot access your phone. So it's kind of a deep work session. So this is the first thing. Second thing is 2 hours of shallow work. Shallow work can be something that you created your content, you learned something, you posted it, you shared um, resources with the community, and I am the example for that. So I already shared that I gained 20,000 followers in last 7 to 8 months. Okay, so I'm continuously delivering or sharing content and getting plenty of opportunities. Okay, plenty of opportunities. I have said no to more than 500 clients that I'm not interested in that particular work, or you can say that there are so many work available. So it depends on you how, which project or which job offer you want. I also got the job offer, even though I mentioned that I already running a company. So I shared a video of getting a offer through my LinkedIn profile, so through GitHub profile. So through this particular profile, I got a 40 LBA package from Bangalore. There's a company in fitness domain, and um, they wanted a founding member. They're also providing equity in their company. So through this, they reached out to me, and this was the thing. So um, whatever you are working on, you have to share with the world, put it out in the world so that the world can see, and those who are interested will come out to you automatically. Okay, so it's kind of an inbound rather than an outbound. So these are the two terms used in SEO, search engine optimization. I'm not going to cover that part, but understand that inbound is something that people or opportunities will come to you, and outbound is you are going to somewhere else, or the recruiter, that I am the right person, please have me. Okay, so we are not going to do that. We are focusing on the inbound. So if you create content around that, uh, there will be slowly will you will see that there are plenty of opportunities coming up. Okay, so this is what the system is all about: working on your knowledge, learning every day. For example, I learn for 4 hours, and that time is reserved each day, even though there's a Sunday available. So you have to do this every day. You have to show up every day. Okay. Um, Make sure that at the end of the day you are focusing on the growth metric, that you yesterday you don't know about linear regression, now today you know what linear regression is, where it is used, and so on. Okay, so you have to track your growth as well. So this is one of the part of the system. So that way you understand how the system works, how to create a system, and you can apply different system in your life. Okay, and do that with your job and whatever. Okay, now there's a system part. I already shared this video. It's a YouTube video, you can check this out, where I explain the whole roadmap. Okay, now uh, let's talk about certain problems that we face while learning or working on data science and machine learning. Okay, so have you already heard of that data scientist is the sexiest job of 21st century? Okay, so we already have data stored from last 30 years now. Every company is storing data from 1990s, I think, where the internet boom came. So all the companies are storing data from that, but the boom was came in 2016, I guess, 16, 17, or 2010, I guess, for the data scientists. But later, after the lockdown, it like go viral. But understand that a single person cannot do all the jobs. So basically, a data scientist is now in 2023 is divided into subsections. There is a machine learning engineer. There is a machine learning operation engineer, MLOps engineer, you can say. And the third person is the a domain expert, or you can say um, a data engineer. Okay, yes, data engineer. So data scientist work is now divided into these uh, subparts. Okay, now there's a statement you can there's a proven statement now in 2023 is the sub niche is the new niche. Now what this means, sub niche is the new niche. Now what the sub niche means, sub niche is I want to work in data science domain. Okay, I want to work in data science domain. Now this domain is vast. So if I say I'm a data scientist, nobody is going to listen to me as uh, because there's a huge part, and I don't, the client will confuse and the recruiter will confuse that what this person is trying to say. Now if I say I'm a data scientist in energy sector or the finance sector, so now this is a little bit clear for the user's perspective, the recruiter's perspective, or the client's perspective. Okay, now this is not a much more clear statement that I am a data scientist in finance domain. Now let's do a little bit uh, niche down it, or sub niche, create a sub niche into it. In finance domain is also a huge domain, and energy sector is a huge energy sector is huge. Okay, most of the GDP part of GDPs are from the energy sector. It can be biochemical, bioenergy, it can be electric energy, it can be oil and gas, and so on. Okay, now if I say that I am a data scientist in um, in oil and gas sector, now it's a little bit more. You can say that it's a little bit sub niche. You can say, okay. So now it is little bit clear to all the people who are working already in the oil and gas sector. Okay, because in energy sector it's a huge part, but who those who are working in the oil and gas part understand that I have the knowledge for that. Okay, because domain knowledge is important. Now if I say that I'm a machine learning engineer for the oil and gas sector, okay, what this specifies that I'm a machine learning engineer, I have the knowledge. Now I also have the domain knowledge of oil and gas sector. Okay, clear? Because domain knowledge is important here, because I have to face multiple different parameters, and through those parameters I have to understand or integrate that with my algorithm, or integrate that with my solution to that particular business problem. Okay, so this is a better statement to tell anyone. Okay, so this is one thing. So you can sector it out, and you understand the domain part as well. So you, that's why you understand the whole system or the whole architecture of your solution. Okay, so that's the thing. Now uh, let's move this. This roadmap is divided into say 7 parts, And this is the second phase of the data science full stack. So data science full stack is this. If you see the module 0, so module 0 is the phase 1 of our full stack data science um, data science roadmap. So if you click on this, you will see that there are so many topics available in this, and first two topics are covered. And if you want to get that access, you can just ping me. Okay, but after that, there are pandas, numpy, matplotlib, statistics, that is the machine learning part, ML operations, and NLP computer vision. So these are the parts are these are the part of the second phase. Okay, now uh, the first phase includes Python, Git and GitHub. That's it. These are the two parts. Okay, so you can learn that for free through LinkedIn, through YouTube. So I already posted different videos for that. Um, okay, so you can access that. And after that, I have a course for Git and GitHub. Okay, so I conducted a 2-day workshop. It was a paid workshop, so but I am giving it for free. This particular workshop. That this is the first session. It will include these things. I already contributed on TensorFlow in this particular video. So already, obviously, that TensorFlow I edited for testing purpose, and it got rejected. My request got rejected from TensorFlow community. Obviously, they're not going to accept a single change, small spam kind of change. So they said that it's a spam. So it doesn't matter, but you understand that how to contribute in open source. Okay, so it is included here, and how to build a stunning profile. This is the second day of the workshop. How to grow your GitHub followers. Okay, so you can find this here. Okay, now once you understand the basics, that there are so many other options available that uh, if you have already have the knowledge, and if you don't have the knowledge for Python, doesn't matter. If you're joining the live session, I am planning to have a free Python session, Python for machine learning session. Okay, so there can be a small workshop for 3 to 4 days, and I will cover from basics to intermediate level of Python, so that you will be ready for learning machine learning. Okay, now the best way to start in the data science field is starting with a programming language, and I prefer Python. Why? Because Python will help you build logics. Python will help you understand how algorithms works, and how small things, small changes may help you build a proper uh, you can say build a proper solution around a particular problem. Okay, so Python is the best starting point for data science. Second, you can go to data structures. Now, most people say that data structures are not important for data science and machine learning. This is not true. Okay, um, if you are going towards a technical field and you are skipping data structures, it's not a good thing. Maybe you will not need that directly. You don't need mathematics in real life directly, but indirectly you're doing that. For example, you worked on linear algebra. Okay, we heard so many times that I worked on matrix determinants and never used matrix determinant in my life. That is not true. Your phone screen is the prime example, or the laptop screen is prime example of matrix. Okay, matrix determinants, transpose of a matrix, and so on. Okay, so you can find mathematics everywhere. Okay, you personally not using that, but somebody who created the system is use that. Okay, and we are also going to do engineer things, or engineer our models and all. So we have to understand how the algorithm works. So data structures is kind of a behind the scene thing while working on an algorithm. Okay, so if you are working on a machine learning algorithm, it is nothing, it is similar to the Python algorithms that are already being available. And data structure is behind the scene for that. Okay, so if I am using this particular part, and I click on right click on this particular feature. that I have the option to jump on any of the page that I previously accessed. So this is the example of stack data structure. Okay, this is stack data structure. Okay, so there are small algorithms that have been created in stack that are already in using in real life. Okay, so you have to understand how these works, and you are not going to it will not take much time to understand data structures. Okay, so they are, just a second, so they are not more than, data structures are divided into two parts. One is data structures, and the second part is algorithms. Okay, so I divided it into two sections. So first section is working on these 5 structures, and the second part is working on the algorithms, actually creating logics. And the last part, you can understand the fundamentals of dynamic programming, and that's it. I don't think it will take more than 10 days to understand if you work 1 hour every day or 2 hours every day. Okay, so um, if you already worked on this, it will not take 4 to 5 hours to revise that. Okay, so if you understand that, you will easily understand how the algorithm will work, and so it's kind of a plus thing. It will not subtract anything from your knowledge, obviously. Okay, so that's why data structures are important. So this is module 0. So if you want to work in depth on this, so you can access the recording sessions. Let me know if you want. But if you don't want to work on in depth with Python, uh, then you can join the free Python course. I will share the workshop details in a week. So we will start that on the next weekend, or in the yeah, it's in the next weekend. Okay, before our machine learning phase 2. Okay, that means this. So those who are not um, part of the or those who haven't worked on Python, so you can access that and work on Python. Okay, now the machine learning module. So let's understand this. So they are divided into 7 parts. So each part is individually a huge field. Okay, so there can be different people working in that particular domain. Okay, now there's two things. If you are targeting a research position, not a research position, or you're working on a research project, you're doing your own research, writing your own research paper, so math is important for you, most important, because you are going to customize mathematical models in programming or create your models around them. Okay, so that's the most important uh, thing. Okay, so now, okay, so um, so this is the one thing. If you are targeting machine learning engineer position, that you are going to engineer things. So math is also important, because you will find different research paper, and your company will tell you to implement that research paper, because your ideation of the product is similar to that particular research paper, and research paper is giving you the solution of a particular problem. Okay, so you have to implement that. So if you are working on that, you have to understand the math part behind it. If you understand that, you can easily convert that into a Python algorithm. Okay, so that's why math is important. So let's open this and understand how many topics are available. So there are so many topics, and we already worked. If you have done engineering, so there were 4 different subjects for mathematics. Okay, so 4 different subjects for mathematics itself. Okay, M1, M2, M3, M4, like that. Okay, if you haven't done the mathematics, or if you're not from the mathematical background, the best way to learn math is understand the concept, see where the that concept is used in real life, and try to implement that into Python code. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, convert a mathematical expression into Python programming. If you do this, you will understand the whole concept behind math. This is the best thing, because you are doing the hands-on part. Okay, now, so it is divided into 8 chapters. So there are too much things, so many things to learn here. but this is nothing. If you pick up math, so it's a huge field, you already know this. But what we are doing, we are dividing everything here in small concepts. So if there is a concept for mean, median, mode, we are individually understanding them, what they actually mean, and implementing them into Python programming. Okay, that's what we are doing. Okay, so you can learn through this free resources. I already shared the link with this. So they are from Stanford, MIT, and so on. So you can access those. Um, and if you want to learn on your own, you can do that also. Search for that concept and try to implement that in Python. So I already covered the vectors part. If you open this, you will find that I added certain things. I added a image from GenerativeAI, Midjourney AI. So um, this is the image. So I gave the prompt and it generated this image for linear regression. Okay, sorry, not linear regression, linear algebra. Okay, so these are the concept where this is actually being used, how to implement that in Python and NumPy, and how to work on vectors, some real world examples, and the conclusion. Okay, so I included some part. I will continue to do that. So if somebody needs that, you can access those. Okay. So I haven't included all the topics. As we move forward, I will include that. Okay. So for my own, otherwise you have these resources, so you can learn them directly. Okay. So basically, machine learning have four pillars: linear algebra, statistics, probability, calculus. Okay, these are the four pillars of machine learning. Okay, now if you go to statistics, this is divided into two parts. Or statistics give us two tools to work on any data. One is descriptive and the other one is inferential. Okay, so you can descriptive is to describe the data, understand the data. Inferential is to apply certain model, statistical model on it. Okay, this is also a separate subject. Okay, statistical models. This is a separate subject in statistics. Okay, so everything is huge here, but we have to work on certain concepts that we are ready to work on any problem statement. Okay, later we will learn everything if needed. Okay, so we understand the pattern. If you worked on 10 to 12 concepts in a certain topic, you will understand the pattern of that subject, that the stats work in this way. We have to prepare the data, describe it, understand it, and then move to the hypothesis and start our modeling. Okay, so this is a pattern. Okay, so that way you can work on multiple different data sets and understand how this whole pattern works. Okay, then we have probability, so you can work on that. So these are some concepts that you can cover. These are important concepts. Okay, there are plenty of concepts available. Okay, you have to understand this. There are plenty of concepts available, but I covered less than 1%. You can say that. Okay, but that are fine for a machine learning position person. Okay, now that way will be in the advanced part of a candidate. Okay, so we understand everything from fundamentals. So because they are important, if you go to a recruiter or any machine learning engineer who have been working on in the company for more than 5 years, a senior machine learning engineer, they will tell you to work on fundamentals first. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, so fundamentals. If the fundamentals clear, you will understand the whole picture. Okay, you will easily generate solution around a particular problem. You got a problem, and now you know that what type of algorithm you have to apply on that. Um, there's a process for that, but you will understand that this is my solution will look like. Okay, we have objective functions that are available for creating loss and so on. So these are the concepts. We have regularization, which is most important. Okay, you're not going to use all of them, but maximum you will see the first two most of the time. Okay, We have information theory. So if we working on decision making, this is the best. Okay, so these are the concepts. Optimization, there's distribution. Okay, so uh, I divided it into these sections because um, that way you will understand that what type of problem we are solving. Okay, we are optimizing an algorithm, we are optimizing or tuning our features, parameters. Okay, so this is why it is important. Okay, so this is kind of a fundamental for you. So if you cover this, you will be at a position that you understand the whole architecture. Okay, now this is a basic problem that you need a degree or something. No, you don't. Everything is a skill in life. Everything. Okay, so all you have to do is learn fast. Okay, try to implement everything fast, so that will be fine. Okay, now the second module is machine learning concepts. So if I click on this, this will be certain concepts that you already know about, the regression, classification, clustering, and so on. Okay, so I divided it into multiple sections. Um, Ensemble methods, performance analysis, and these are the libraries and frameworks we are going to work on. Specifically, we are going to work on TensorFlow. We will see if we cover PyTorch along with it. Otherwise, you can focus on any one of them. Okay, so you are already going to use TensorFlow and Keras together. Okay, but if you can focus on one framework and master it or spend time a huge amount of time on it, it will be easy to convert or change to another framework. Okay, you already know, if you already know TensorFlow, it will be easy for you to switch to PyTorch. Okay, so no big deal. So these are the concepts part. Our approach will be work on as many data sets as we can, pick the data set, analyze it and do the pre-processing, and apply, decide what type of algorithms we can apply on that particular data set, and solve that particular problem. Okay, that way we will understand why we are using a particular algorithm, and how to analyze that algorithm, how to not accept the results and move to another algorithm, and so on. Okay, we will see that these type of algorithms are used in this particular problems. So if you got a problem for classification, we can go for this particular algorithm. For regression, we will go for this particular algorithm. For generating images or generating values, we can go to certain model. Okay, so this is the thing. Now if we move to the data processing and machine learning part, so how to find the right data set? You have the algorithm, you understand the algorithm. Now you are working on a problem statement. That problem will be um, somewhere in different research papers. Different research paper giving you different approach to solve that problem. Now you have to find the data set. Okay, so there are options available to finding the data set. If you open this, you will find that um, there are certain process to do that. Okay, so um, we have this. I already shared this on LinkedIn profile. Public data sets that are already been available, so you can access those depending upon the domain. Okay, so if you are working on healthcare domain, you can access that. Okay, so there are free data sets available, so you can access those. Okay, now there are certain topics you have to clean the data, because if algorithms don't understand, if you give the best data, you will get the best output. Okay, so it's kind of a garbage in garbage out kind of thing. Okay, so if the data is not good, the algorithm will not perform better. Okay, obviously, so you have to work on that. So these are the things you have to work on: outliers, normalization, noisy data, You have to work on noisy data most of the time. Okay, so it's a uh, big challenge for the organizations that they already have relational databases. Now, how we are going to hire a data engineer to make it ready for analysis? Okay, so previously nobody knew about the data engineering part, so everybody just stored that into certain databases. Now the data is not structured, so they have to structure it, because in this world there's a huge data set available. We already know this. Um, but only 20% of the data is structured. That means there's a plenty much data, and the speed in which the data is generating, if you work on the 80% data and make it structured, the whole new unstructured data will come in front of you, and the ratio will become 80-20 again. Okay, so 80% data is unstructured. Okay, so that's a big opportunity for data people who are working on the big opportunity for data engineers specifically. Okay, so uh, most of the companies who have data need data engineers to make the data accessible to a data scientist or machine learning engineer to work on that, or build models and integrate AI within in their organization. Okay, so that's very important. So it's a huge opportunity for data engineers, machine learning engineers, and MLOps engineers. Okay, so data processing is the uh, most important skill. Okay, so that's why we have to cover that. Now, the next thing is the hands-on part. So we have to work on different projects that we are going to do this in this section, module 4. So if you open that, we are just focusing on models that are already being available. Okay, or we are going to create our own models. Okay, so we have to cover the NLP part. So these are the topics. We have to work on certain algorithms that are most important, CNNs, RNNs, and LSTM. Okay, we have to work on transformers, what transformers are and how to work on them, how to create your own transformers. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. And in computer vision, these are the topics. So basically, we are focusing on um, uh, deepfakes in computer vision, and certain topics like classification, transfer learning, image captioning. So, if you've seen these AI generated images, um, the fundamentals for them is image captioning and autoencoders, removing noise, and understand the object detection and segmentation. So these are fundamentals for that. Okay, so before working on those particular models, you can understand these fundamentals. Okay. Now, so these are the second chapter. The third one is generative AI. Now, generative AI is most important to add it to your resume, because uh, as an engineer, you have to understand the architecture rather than just using the AI tools. AI tools are not for us. We already have the AI tools like GitHub Copilot to help us build the code, write the code. It is very powerful and it is very good. Okay. So you can just write it down and it will generate the code for you. So it will be easy for me to run the code. I don't have to go to the documentation for that. Okay, that is good. We have tools, but as an engineer, we have to understand how we can build the tools rather than using those tools. Okay, so that will be a plus point for us, because experts will not be replaced who have the combination of multiple skills. Okay, so if you have single skill, it will be easy to replace you. But if you have a combination of 5 skills, it will be very difficult to replace you. Okay, to understand this, that you understand the whole picture, you have the programming skills, you have the algorithm building skills, you know the transformers, you know how those GANs work, how to make it to production. You know 5 6 skills very well, so that you can deploy a particular model. So it will be very hard to replace you in the market. Okay, because how many of you have seen people have this knowledge in their resume? So they have the machine learning knowledge, but is that integrated with uh, other things? They worked on different ideas, uh, uh, different problem statements. Have they deployed that particular model? The the project is live right now. So these are the important skills we have to move forward with. Like we have to go one step forward as to the company's level. So if I'm running a company and I'm working on a product, the only basic thing I have to do is deploy that, make it live to the user so that the user will buy the particular product or work on that and use that. So as a professional or student, you have to focus on that. You have to implement it, make it live to the user. Okay, you can get the use cases for that as well. Okay, so what we are doing, we are going one step forward. Okay, so that's very important. We are integrating these knowledge and deploy that model. Okay, to production. So we have to work on Docker, Kubernetes, Kubeflow. So these are the open source um, libraries that we can use and tools to deploy our model and monitor it and understand where we need to change it, kind of for orchestration. Okay, so that's why we have to work on this. Deep learning fundamentals, we will work on autoencoders, GANs, and we'll do a little bit research on LSTM, and then we will move forward to GPTs. Okay. The most important part is prompt engineering. Okay, you probably heard of this. So prompt engineering is what prompt you are going to give the model. So you will get the best response. So it's a different field now. It's a different position in companies, and already tried most of the thing to get better results from ChatGPT, and it is very good. Okay, so you have to understand what type of inputs you have to give the model so that you can get the best result in return. Okay, so this was the models part. The fifth module is machine learning operation. Now you already worked on algorithm, you already know how these algorithms work, how these models work. Now the thing is to deploy them. Okay, so understand how the operations work, how the deployment and CI/CD work, how to work with the team, how to monitor it, and how to integrate any of the cloud services. It can be AWS, it can be GCP, it can be Azure. Okay, so um, I will include certain topics here. I haven't included the AWS part, but I will add the SageMaker and S3 and how to integrate those tools with this, to integrate that with your model, okay, or whatever solution you are working on. Okay, so this is the module 5 for our machine learning work. Okay, so this is also a specific field or position in a company, that is MLOps engineer. So you can focus only on this, but only if you understand the models better. If you understand them, you can make it to production. And this is a specific field because you already know that this is a huge field individually. That AWS, if you work on AWS, there are so many certifications available for AWS, and there are so many plenty of services that comes with a complexity. Uh, if you understand it better, it will be easy to work on any of the solution. Okay, because it is costly to the company and they need an expert to work on that. Okay, so that's why this is a specific field, and this is also important. If you understand this, you can focus on the only on the operations part if you want, if you are interested in working on any of these. um, Okay, so and it is also typical as per this meme. Uh, it is not an easy task to deploy a model. Okay, because in production you will face so many different problems, new problems with this. Okay, now next thing is create your own ML design. It's kind of a system design part. Okay, so I haven't included much part, but you can go through these resources. So I will include my system design in this. So it is not specific to machine learning system design. First, you have to understand some system design. For example, if you have IP addresses, so we have IPv4 version 4 and IPv6, that's Internet Protocol versions. So how those versions work, and how you are going to access certain websites and so on. Okay, so that's very important here. So if you understand those systems, you will understand that how machine learning system will work, how machine learning is helping in our whole solution. So those systems are important. So we are going to look at the examples. For example, we are working on Spotify example. So how Spotify system works and how recommendation systems and machine learning models are integrated with those, and how the whole solution is working. Okay, so that's the most important part here. Uh, this is very important for a leadership position person. So if you are a leader, if you are a data product manager, if you are a product manager, technical product manager, tech lead, okay, and positioning or targeting these more technical aspect of your field. So system design is most important. Okay, so if you understand the system, you will understand the solution, and you can uh, better communicate with your engineering team, data team, and SaaS team, and your stakeholders. So it is very important for you. So if you don't want to be a part of the engineering thing, so you can only focus on the machine learning system design. That will be fine. That will be fine for you if you are um, positioning a leadership position, okay, your managerial position, or something. Okay, now the last part with is building a strong portfolio. Okay, so strong portfolio comes with the live projects. Okay, so if you have the live projects, you will understand that how the company works. You can gather some of the people from the community and work on a single problem together. Okay, that way it will be easy for you to you can say that it will be easy for you to understand how the team works. Okay, you can lead the project for a small project. You can start with small projects, and later you can move forward with big projects. Okay, so interview and projects. Okay, so I will provide the mock interviews for you. Um, but if you want to work on your own, I will include the resources here. And projects should be something that there's a certain step. Go to Kaggle, search all the problem statements that are providing prize money on it, because they are strong problem statements that the company wants to solve. Google or big companies. Once you get the problem statement, go to this description section or the discussion forum. Go to the discussion forum, check if somebody shared certain research papers along with around that particular problem statement. Okay. Once you get the research paper, read those research papers and try to solve in an innovative way. You will find the ideas from those research papers, that this is how they are solving a particular problem, and you can integrate that with your problem statement. Okay, so that way you will get the idea of a particular major project for your portfolio. Okay, you can just don't search any idea from a topic. Make sure it is the resources are already available. If you get the problem statement from Kaggle where prize money is available, it's a problem that the company is facing. So you are solving that problem in your own way. Doesn't matter that so many other people will solve that problem. Doesn't matter. You have done the work. You can deploy that project and you can make it live. So that will be fine for you. Okay, fine for your portfolio. It will be a new idea, and you can change that idea through those research papers that are available around that particular problem statement. Okay, you will find the data, so there will be no issue. So this is the best approach to work on your problems, work on your portfolio. Okay, so these are the 7 topics that you have to work on. Okay, and then you decide that I am going to work on this specific field, for example ML operations, ML ops engineer. I'm going to work as a data product manager who understands system, and I'm going to work as a machine learning engineer who understand everything. Okay, so that's the thing here. Okay, now I added some certain community links here, so you can join that. Discord, you can join here, and you will find the Discord part later on. Okay, so I included the benefits if you want to join the live session. So it's a closed community. Let me open this. So you can find people here. Uh, you will find different resources depending upon different sections. So if you want to have a question or any question, you can just ask in the ML text part. So people generally discuss and get the solution here. So that's it. Okay, so you can join that. There are certain people who are already working in a company, in different companies. You can talk to them as well on LinkedIn. Just reach out to them directly. Okay, so there are so many other people who are already been available and joined the closed community. So you can uh, reach out to them as well. Okay, now uh, this is the session structure, which is most important here, that how you should approach a particular concept if you are working on something, and how we are going to do that in the live session. The first is topic understanding. Then we will see that what type of real world examples where that topic is used. For example, if you are working on um, any concept like decision tree, where what this decision tree is, what the mathematical part behind it, where this is used in real world, how to implement that in Python, what type of interview questions are around it. If you have the question to implement a solution in Python or programming, how to do that. Uh, then we will discuss what the industry is saying. Okay, so if the industry, we will search for different people in the machine learning field, in the data science domain. We will follow them. We will see what type of content they share, what type of insights they are sharing. So we will do that regularly. Okay, we'll read blogs of them. We will consume their resources. Okay, we'll understand what the AI field is doing, what type of newsletters are good for us. We can subscribe to them. Okay, um, do we have uh, which company is hiring for a particular position? What type of problems they are solving? Can we connect with the problem we are solving? Okay, if the company is solving the same problem that we are working on, it will be easy for company to understand our approach. Okay, and it will be easy for us to get the job in that particular company, rather than just sharing the resume that you worked on some projects. Okay, so it should be targeted. So we will discuss that regularly. So these part are the extra parts of the whole session. So we'll take 2 hours to do this. I think these 3 points. It will take 90 minutes to 120 minutes. But other part is the extra part. So we'll discuss that and share our resources, create a centralized a second brain for us, like any document. It can be Notion, it can be Excel, and we will share our knowledge and insights from the market that we research and put it here. It can be a company, it can be information of the company, where to apply that, how to approach the recruiter, how to connect with the recruiter on LinkedIn, and have a good relationship with them, so that later, after 3 months or 4 months, when we approach them, that I have the knowledge, and um, once they understand that, they will easily, um, you can say that, um, they will be as easily recognize you. Okay, so it's a long process, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Okay, understand this. So it's a long game. Now, if you have any questions or if you want to working on something, you can just ping me here so we can connect for that. Now, this particular offer will end today. That it's the last day of this particular offer. So you can get the 40% off on this particular uh, price. Okay, so you can get all these parts, all these features and benefits, and that's it. So they are limited seats. You can if you are as a working on a technical leadership position, and if you want to switch that part as well, so you can access or reach out to me that I am a leader. And if you want to customize it or go for a one-on-one call or one-on-one sessions, so you can reach out to me. uh, there are only, I think, 1 or 2 slots are available for this. So let's see. So that's it. Other questions are available here. You can search for that. And this is my newsletter. Okay, so you can go to this newsletter and you can easily access that. Okay, I'm going to share something with you. That is, no, I think it's fine. Okay, so you can access this newsletter. So every Saturday you will get an update from me and you can access that. Okay, so this is the whole roadmap, and this should be your approach to your machine learning journey. And that's it. If you have any doubts, you can ask. I think we are past the 1 hour part, but it's okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Your voice is not audible.
Can you share that repository, GitHub repository, which you were showing, right? Is it freely available or it is paid?
GitHub repository, everything on GitHub is free. Everything is free. I'm already sharing everything for free. Just live session are paid. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Himanshu.
Hi.
Having some couple of doubts. I just want to know, it's 250 plus hours of session, right? Means daily we will be engaging in for 6 hours, right? Including the learning session. And you were saying about the phase one active. How you will be sharing those things, phase one success, like some basic Python and
so phase one is currently in process. I think it will be end by this month. So let me open this. So we already completed data structures part. We already worked on the APIs and all. So in 2 weeks, in a week, this will be covered. Okay, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So you can only access those through recordings. So recording sessions are available for this, and live session are at here. We are on the 6th chapter. So it will be completed by.
So the recording should be uploaded to the YouTube or something, right? Or you are uploading here?
No, so you have to access that. You can ping me. I will share the coupon code for that. So you can access those recordings. And if you want to learn it for free, I'm sharing the free sessions of free videos on YouTube. So you can access that. On YouTube, we are at strengths right now.
Yeah, it's very late. Mine is very back now. So that's what I was checking. Fine. And the GPT you are covering GPT as well, right? Means in Gen
Yes.
AI.
Yes.
So that is the updated one, means GPT-4 or GPT-3.5 we are going to cover. I mean, just asking for the not like.
Okay, so there will be not much difference, because if we understand 3, it will be easy to jump to 4. So if needed, we will cover that up. So this roadmap is continuously being updated. So that's what I do. I update things
Okay.
if needed. So if you want to add something to it, you can do that. So I will add that in this.
Okay. Okay, Iman. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you for.
Hi, Himanshu. This is Dev Prasanna.
Hi there.
I am asking. We are doing the project in the completion of last session, like completion of the chapters, all chapters. So we are deploying in a live, like you are showing AWS Azure infrastructure, yeah, in GCP environment. So we'll do the live of that project and share in a link to our GitHub profile, or any like using the Colab file and Google Drive, like that.
So live session is live, making the project live is it can be on Jupyter if that's an analysis, and
Okay.
it will be with VS Code if we are generating the saving the model and deploying this to production. So mostly it will be, yes.
Okay. Yeah, please tell.
So mostly it will be on the server. So that we generate something, we create an API around that, and we request it, and it will predict something and will return the output to the front end. So we will integrate the front end part. We are most probably using Flask for that. Flask is a micro framework of Python.
I know that. Yeah.
So we will use that.
This Django framework.
So Django is, we are not working on Django, as Django is a huge, you can say that it comes with an architecture, MBD architecture. So uh, it will be difficult for us to work on that because we're already doing the complex stuff. So the best way to work is through Flask. Okay. So
Yeah, got it.
so
So why not we are using like PyCharm or Anaconda environment instead of VS Code? Because lots of companies that are using currently PyCharm. Some of other maybe
so
no.
it's an editor, so you can switch on any. So I prefer VS Code, but you can go to work on PyCharm as well, no issue.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Iman.
Sorry.
I said thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Are the course materials available in advance so that attendees can be as prepared as possible in advance of each session?
Course material will be after the session. It will be available after the session.
I don't mean this session. I'm glad to hear that. I assume that's what you meant. But in the meantime, like the slides and everything, and so that I can go to the URLs and all that. But I mean, in the paid course, the 12-week course, will the course materials, URLs and so on, YouTube links, etc., be available beforehand so that
Yes.
a student like myself who's not familiar with some of these things, many of these things, can be prepared and read up in advance?
Yes, so it will be available in advance. It depends on the complexity of the concept as well. So if the concept that the best way to approach anything is, if I am following a structure, so you should follow the same structure. Once you work through that structure, now you can go to different resources to gather other concepts, other knowledge around that concept. So we are going to focus on a structural way to understand the concept, and then we will move forward with getting knowledge from different resources. So we'll focus on one single resource, that is mine, initially.
I understand, and I'm thinking for myself, it would be a benefit, probably, I would think, to be able to focus on your resources that you're going to use for the course, for the class, for the session in advance, to be familiar with it, and then have the session, and then, again, using that same material, and then afterwards, like you said, be able to go to other materials as well. So it'd be reinforcing in advance, of the session, then in the session, hammering it, the same material again, and then be able to have other resources as well, would be my thought for me.
Correct.
And it sounds like that's what I'd be able to do. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Anybody have any other doubts? Already recorded this session. I think I will upload that, so it will be easy for you to revise today's session if needed.
Yeah, that would be great actually, because I missed initial part of your session today, because I wanted to ask, maybe you have already covered that are you going to teach us how to fine tune LLMs?
Yes, so we are going to work on that.
Okay, and the basics, how LLMs came to that is also covered, right? The transition of NLP, other NLP models like RNN based, or the the feed forward networks, and all those progression you will help us understand.
Yes, correct.
Okay, sounds good.
So do you have any other questions? Anyone?